Hello, my friends, and welcome to News of the Week. Another general election came to its final climax. Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin kind of won the thing, which means that most Irish people are either anti-rental capping or pro-knee capping or both. Not a great reflection on the country, guys. I didn't vote. And the reason why I didn't vote is that I didn't feel the main issues I'm concerned with were being represented very well. My bicycle has been stolen 4 times this year. And seeing as though the Gardaí Síochána, God love them, seem to believe that that level of crime is beneath their attention, I have proposed that a subscription service be set up between petty criminals, record must be proven, and cyclists in exchange for immunity. I don't know a cyclist that wouldn't pay €10 a month to be left alone at this stage.
At least I have my health.
What I also want, that no politician takes seriously, is to be able to sing the lyrics of Fairy Tale of New York in full after 7 pints. And look, I'm willing to submit to mandatory blood or urine tests for those who are suspected of faking being at the required alcohol limit. I mean, bodily autonomy only goes so far. And speaking of which, reparations for the Jim Crowley laws. The Jim Crowley laws are the Irish version of the Jim Crow laws. The Jim Crow laws, where in America for a few decades, blacks and whites couldn't attend the same cafes, the same cinemas, the same public houses. So for the unvaccinated who were not allowed to attend bars or cafes or cinemas for 9 months in 2021 and 2022, I want reparations. And I think they could come in the form of a once-off payment of a house, and it would solve my personal housing crisis. The Greens got absolutely raped at the polls. The Green TDs had pleaded to be recycled and reused. In the end, they were merely reduced. One solitary soul in the form of Roderick O'Gorman embracing his husband or his boyfriend, or I don't know if this is just some random man he grabbed after he'd been re-elected. They lost all their fucking seats. And to be honest, I think this counts as visual pollution. We used to call them displays of affection because privacy was taken for granted. So now we have this thing called public displays of affection. I see this as a gateway drug to just outright flashing. Like, it's not the same thing, but I just feel that it's on the same sort of trajectory, the same kind of spectrum. It's like when people insist on telling you how hard they're trying to have a baby. And also what I consider sexual assault is the paper straws that these people have implemented. What is a paper straw? You're being forced to put something in your mouth that becomes soggy with saliva. So it's kind of the other way around, but you get my point. Let's go back to plastic straws now. The Irish people have spoken. We don't give a fuck about the environment. Gráinne Seoige didn't get elected. There is a horrible rumour that the reason why her message didn't get across was that she refused to canvass in anything but the Irish language. Would you please grow up? Can you imagine her knocking on the door? Gee, Fakarja, Kunasatoshiv, on Winshivik Votal. And what? She sees the confused faces of her electorate, so she panics and goes into full government helpline mode, where she goes, Má tá tú a géirí conchas Gaeilge, bhrú ivre hain, agus má tá tú a géirí conchas Féile, bhrú ivre dó. And she has number 1 on one tit and number 2 on the other tit, and you have to squeeze the tit to get the right option. That's insane, okay? You're sick. And this idea that the whole thing had to be cancelled after one guy changed his mind 3 times. This guy has a hot take about the monks' run for election.
He's a convicted criminal. It would be a dark day in our electoral system if this man is elected to Dáil Éireann.
Democracy is one of those weird things where people think it's been totally undermined when other people exercise it. The monk was not elected, but he's given a press conference.
Why do you think that they'd vote for you?
Because they want change.
It's all going well, and then RTE arrive and he goes, fuck this, end it.
Gary, what kind of change?
All types of change.
He was initially prepared to answer questions before he changed his mind and walked away.
Jerry, what's your reaction to your defeat?
You're like a dying wasp, you are.
Special criminal court judgment.
You're very concerned about the special criminal
Well, I
court,
am, because
Paul.
it's the
Go
court.
back down the special criminal
Yeah,
court
but
and
what's
ask
your
the
reaction?
court.
What's your reaction
This
to
is
the
an
judgment?
election.
I know, but you stood for election, Jerry. You have to.
I mean, RTE are so bad at what they do, they're being bailed out to the tune of 700 million quid. And even still, their employees or their contractors feel entitled, feel confident to elbow their way to the front of the queue, ruin the entire vibe, and kill all creativity. The monk just walks away. The whole thing's over. It's a perfect illustration of the effect RTE have on the arts. People think the election was rigged. The reason why was the manner in which the doors where the ballots were being kept were sealed overnight before the counting would resume in the morning. In any country but Ireland, I would also think this is suspicious. But this is the Irish mentality at its very, very purest essence. Put a bare bit of tape on it there, PJ the Grand. You know, the tape's not even. Check out this other guy's hot take.
You know, the old adage, if you don't vote, don't complain. You know,
Yeah.
please, give me a break.
There's no logic to that. It's like if on the ballot we had Stalin, Hitler, and Mussolini, and so you go, okay, these three are all bastards, I'm not voting for them. And then Stalin gets elected, and then the famine hits, and you're forced to eat your kids to survive the harsh Siberian winter. You can't complain about that, really. You know, that would be your last creature comfort in that situation. What an inhumane and demented thing to say. The truth is that my rights have been violated in this election because my biggest issue, above all other issues, is that I want to vote for the people who take their posters down the quickest after the election. I think that says a lot about people. And actually, the first person I saw doing this was a member of the Green Party. You know, they don't have to do it, but they choose to do it quickly because it's inconvenient for everybody. It's not a nice thing to look at. And it's just a very selfless thing. But by the time I have that information, by the time I become an informed voter as regards to the issues that I care about, the voting's closed. So it's just a complete fucking waste of time for me. It almost made me feel bad that I emptied 11 Lynx cans in celebration and took my coffee run to be dumped in the middle of an idyllic stream. Anyway, thanks so much for watching News of the Week. I'll see you soon.
At least I have my health.